Hey, you. Welcome to my podcast. Do you like amebo, unsolicited advice, and very unconventional opinions about Christianity, mental health, and psychology? Then you're in the right place. It's Monday Morning Brand with Miss James H&M. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Monday Morning Rant podcast with Miss James H&M. Yeah, we're finally done with To Kill a Monkey series that I was doing. For those of you that still not watched the series, stop. It is very and I'm sorry for spoiling it for some of you. I'm so sorry. I think I gave a disclaimer at the beginning saying if you had not watched it, you had to wait to listen to the podcast episode. Anyways, moving on. If this is your first time listening to me, oh my God, my heart is so full and happy to have you here. I promise you're going to have a swell time, a wonderful time. You're going to enjoy yourself. Um, my podcast is basically the podcast for my church people. You know, if you love God a lot, I talk about Him a lot on this podcast. Then I talk about every other thing, basically life. I talk about psychology. I talk about Jesus. I talk about God. I talk about the church. I talk plenty things and everything. The only thing you will not see here is anything vulgar or anything inappropriate. No, you will not find it here. So if that is your taste, I don't want to say move along. I want to say sit down, stay, so that the one we they do for here go soak your soul, because now this one will benefit you. Yeah. So if this is your first time, you're welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And to my day ones, the ones that are constantly, consistently reposting and listening to me and sharing my link with their friends and family. Thank you so much. God bless you. And you're welcome again to this week's episode. I'm really, really happy to have you here. Thank you all for the support. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And this is me reminding you that tomorrow there is not going to be the recap Tuesday, because from the last episode I mentioned I wanted to move it to the weekends. So if you're expecting recap Tuesday tomorrow, I'm so sorry. We have to change it to recap Friday or Saturday. But for this week, the recap is going to come either on the Friday or Saturday. And it's not just about the fact that I feel it's too close to Monday, it's that it's a little bit overwhelming for me to, post on Mondays, then have to edit and post again on Tuesdays. I sort of need the space in between to deliver premium to you. I don't want to do anything haphazard. I want to put in my best. And for me to deliver my best, I think I have to move it to the weekends. So it's going to be the recap weekend. This week, I am going to be talking about something. It's sort of like an extension of something I mentioned in passing last week, in the ending part of the rant, and that is about the theory of pain. And I used Evie in the series To Kill a Monkey as a reference to how, if you don't heal as a person, it kind of blurs your view from seeing the world the way God designs you to see the world. I described pain as a lens that makes you see the world in black and white. You can't see color, you can't see anything past the pain and the experiences you've had. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about this week. And I'm really, really invested in this topic. And I'm going to try my best not to talk too much or dance around the bush. I'm just going to get right into it and try to explain my perspective to you. And the aim of this rant and what I hope to achieve by you listening to me today is for you to understand. that healing is possible. And I'm going to talk to you psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, every lily that you can think of. I'm going to try to drive my point home with that. So I had to do a quick study after last week's episode, and I mentioned that thing like just in the moment, the idea that pain is a lens that blurs your view or makes you see the world in a very myopic perspective. You can't see the world outside what you've experienced. And I went to study and I discovered there's a name for that in psychology. And the theory is the cognitive schema theory. So if you like to read and research like me, you can go and extensively read about it. The whole idea is that pain is something that um, kinds of coordinates your idea of life, of whatever aspect of pain you experienced. It kinds of now make it so that you can't see anything other than what that pain has made you experience. So you can't see beyond the pain, you can't see beyond the betrayal, you can't see behind the trauma, beyond the trauma. All you see and all you can see is the perspective of what that pain curated in your mind. So it's basically the idea that pain and lack of healing, so to say, is a thing of the mind. It makes it so that pain is a lens and sort of like a filter. I think that's the best way to explain. Like a filter, like Snapchat filter now. It's sort of like a filter. Once the filter is removed, then you can see the picture or you can see clearly from what the original idea of the picture is supposed to be. So if you carry a picture now, you're editing it and you put a filter, maybe you want it to be black and white or you want it to have high saturation, for it to look reddish or for you to look light skinned or something, you can filter that into the picture. But if you want the picture to be original, this is like the way the picture was taken, then you have to remove the filter. So this theory explains pain as a filter or as a lens that can be removed. So the idea of pain now being removed is another theory in psychology, which is the theory of the post-traumatic growth. So what this explains is that post trauma, that's um after a traumatic experience, there can be growth that makes it so that you move on from whatever the experience of that trauma did to your mind. So these two theories put side by side explains that pain is something of the mind and is something that can be removed or can be restored or something that can be healed from. Basically, these two theories explains that pain is not a permanent thing except you want it to be. So it explains that as an individual, as a person, you can move on from pain, and pain is not an object of permanence. It's not something that is permanented in your being the way biology is like, okay, you are male and you are female, you are born with blonde hair or you are born with black hair, you are born with green eyes or you are born with brown eyes. Pain is not a fixated thing. That's what these two theories explain, is that it's a thing that can be removed. Like the effects of pain is something that can be removed, it's something that can be done without. Yes, so that's where I'm coming to this week to explain that it doesn't matter what you've experienced, it doesn't matter what you've been through, it doesn't matter how deep your pain is. Is something that can be removed. It is a lens and it can be removed. It is a filter and it can be done without. So, quickly, I'm going to paint a picture, so to say, of basic things that I know people have experienced pain in. Mostly marriage, then some other things. I'm going to mention a few things and what the picture of what these things are meant to be in real life, like the original picture of what God had in mind for these things are meant to be. And I'm going to also side by side explain how pain can make you see things differently from what the original design of what nature is meant to be is for those things. Yeah, so let's get on with it. The first thing I'll talk about, like I earlier said, is marriage. Like right now, it's like that's the reigning thing now. It's the new, is it even new? I don't think it's new, but it's the tactic of the enemy to paint a picture that marriage is something that subdues you, marriage is something that takes from you, marriage is something that um, makes you less of who you are supposed to be. And there are so many or more. I don't even know where to start. Like social media now makes it look like marriage is just a totally bad idea, like it's the worst decision you can make for your life. I sometimes see posts, maybe video of somebody beating his wife or the aftermath, maybe the lady now went to the hospital and so, and you enter the comment section, you see people saying things like, or more, the way marriage is these days. Me, I'm scared of marriage. Oh, I'm never getting married. Ah, thank God I left my marriage. Then you see a lot of comments about people that have left their marriages or people that are about to leave or people that are thinking about it. But for me, I've done something with my FYP, which I always encourage people to do, which is to filter out the noise. So once I see a post about negative marriages, I just click on not interested to make sure it is not brought to me anymore. There's negativity in the world, yes, but there's also positivity. So I don't know what your experience of marriage has been. Maybe your parent didn't paint a good picture of marriage for you. You saw your mom suffer through her marriage. You saw your dad have to tolerate your mom throughout their marriage. You saw your uncles and aunties go through a lot of bad things in their marriages, in-law problem, all of that. And it has painted a picture in your mind of lie, me, I'm not going to allow this happen to me. I was having a conversation with someone some time ago, and I said, these days it looks like everybody has low tolerance for bad things. And sometimes it's not necessarily bad things. And I discovered the low tolerance my generation and the generation after us have for anything relationship is product of us seeing things that the older generation went through in marriage and survived and put up with, and we are not interested in putting up with it. So you go online, you see ladies that say, oh, I went on a date with this guy, and during the date he mentioned that he doesn't want me to pay my own bills or something. Like when I offered to pay for my food, he declined and said he was going to pay for the entire. I'm not going to allow a man that will subdue me. And I'm seeing comments of people saying, yes, go girl, don't let any man tell you what to. And I'm like, how did we get here? Where now a man deciding to do some things for his woman means he's a simp, or a girl demanding some kind of things too from a relationship makes it so that she's a gold digger. Like it's just oh, it's so toxic out there. I don't even know. And these things sometimes I in my mind I'm like, oh, it's just social media. But then we come to real life and we also hear stories from people of what their eyes are seeing inside relationship. And I'm like, how did we get here? The answer is simple. It's pain. And for us, I feel it's even pain passed down from the generation before us, like I earlier said. And then instead of us to find a way to break the circle with ourselves, this low tolerance thing we are doing now is making it so that nobody is interested in one pinch of thing we no look like it's like this. Off I go. Divorce papers filed. Court case have starts. relationship of 5 years at end. No tolerance for anything. And then the circle now continues, and it's now worse now, because it looks like this thing we are doing now of, oh, I'm not going to take any rubbish, I'm not going, people are living short, minute relationships up and down. So you see someone that's been in 8 different relationships, the highest lasting time for those relationships is the one that lasted for 2 years, and then he left or she left, and then all the other 7 in between, 5 months, 2 months, 1 month, like that, 3 weeks. I heard I heard somebody say they dated for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't understand. That one, people are not even exes. You can't consider yourself exes. Just say failed talking stage, because how do you date somebody for 2 weeks and you're like, oh, I'm not. So see, we can I don't even know where to start with this talk or more, or where to end it. And then we now keep breaking each other. Like, so many people are walking around now with half the size of hearts that they are supposed to have. Their heart has been broken so many times that they are so numb now. Like, no emotions, no sympathy. So when they even enter relationship or this thing, it's contract based. There's no feelings to it. There's no emotions to it. There's nothing in it. So even when they break up, there's no money in the relation. Nothing. Everybody just, they date, they drop, they date, they drop. What is the idea God had in mind for marriage? Is that to come together and have a beautiful thing where both of them create an environment where they can both flourish. That is the design God had in mind for marriage. So whenever you catch yourself saying things like, oh, men has come, oh, me, I can never date for love. I'm going to date for money. Me, I can never, those I can never, calm down and listen to your mind. Your mind is speaking from a place of pain. And that pain, whatever it is, you can heal from it. And the worst type is even is inherited pain. Do you get the one you inherited from? Oh, my friend went through this, so I'm not going to go through this. My mom went through this, I'm not going. So you just block yourself off and decide, oh, to protect myself, I'm not going to just decide to love at all. And in marriage, the design God has for marriage, there's no self preservation. There's not supposed to be self preservation in marriage. That's not the design God had in his mind when he created marriage. So you can heal from whatever that thing is. And especially for those of you that inherited other people's pain and you are making it how your life is functioning, you need to heal. You need to heal and move on. That was that person's experience doesn't mean it's going to be your own experience. I have a few people in my life, and I've also seen people that came from very bad marital background, like their parents didn't do marriage right, but they decided on their own, oh, I'm going to make my marriage work, and the marriage is working. So surround yourself with those kind of testimonies of people that have gone through the bad side of love, the bad side of marriage, but came out of it and decided, oh, I'm going to do it the right way, the God way. It is possible. So if you are listening to me and you have decided relationship is not for me, I'm never, oh, my last 2 relationships ended so badly, I'm never entering relationship, never, ever, ever again. Calm down. Calm down. Marriage is not designed to break you, it's not designed to take away from you. I, for one, am lucky to have parents that did marriage the right way. And also, my parents in love did their 37th marriage anniversary this last week. And it's just beautiful to see. My parents also have been married for 30, is it 33 years now? Yes, I think 33 or 34. Yes, my parents have been married for that long. My in-laws have married for 37 years. And it's not the type where they are tolerating. There's the 37 years where you see the woman, you just know she has been through a lot. It's not that type. It is not that type. Through my life, I've seen my mom flourish because she married my dad. There are decisions she made in her life that was pivoted by my dad, that now she's benefiting from those things, even though in the moment it was difficult. I remember when my dad pushed for her to do a master's degree years ago. So it was difficult when primary school. I am a little one were in primary school. I think my older brother was in secondary school. We're still young, and shuttling school and all of that. But she did it, and then there were other times too in her life that she had a vision for something, like, oh, I want to do this, and then she's sitting on it. I've seen my dad push her and say, don't worry, this thing you can do it. When my mom was doing her doctorate degree, my dad used to edit her thesis. He used to type. He used to, what did he not do? I've seen my dad do her laundry. I've seen him cook because, okay, he got back early from work and she swamped at work. She got back home around 8 p.m. He's in the kitchen cooking up something for her. It's not as if it was not often, but in my life, I've seen my dad cook quite a lot in my life. And it's why, as funny as it sounds, it's one of those things that I chose husband by food. Oh my God, it is well. But yeah, one particular experience I can't for. Why am I now doing this? I don't like sharing my personal life, but I believe me sharing this is to make you see. Maybe just as you are listening to me, you'll be doing and you can see that it is possible. It is very possible. Good marriage, it is, I've seen it and it is possible. So don't let the devil deceive you and make you think, oh, it can never happen to you. Men will continue to break your heart. It will never happen. Just stay single or just keep fornicating with different people. Mm, That one story for another day, but let's leave it. So back to the story I was going to share. There was this day my dad had an engagement outside of town, I think. And then we had to do decoration for church. So I and my big brother were the ones that used to do decoration back then at home for, church decor, that stage thingy you do with drapes and all of that. And it used to take us like the whole day. And my older brother is an architect, by the way. So Mona bring work. Egbeshewa o, Egbeshewa. I'm a civil engineer. My brother is an architect. My little brother is a song producer and a cybersecurity guy. He's a tech guy. He does music production and he does voice over stuff. He's the one that does my podcast production for me. So please, you should bring work. Okay, I'm missing. I'm skipping this story a lot. So let me get back to the story. So the whole day we spent the whole day in church decorating, and my big brother, architect brain, he went to go and bring one very complex design for us to do on the stage, and it took us the whole day. We didn't finish till I think maybe 10 p.m. ish, and we started around like 9 a.m. in the morning. So it took the whole day, and you are thumb pinning, yeah. So your fingers are numb. Oh my god, that used to be a lot of stress, sha. But it was usually fun and bonding time for us because we just be playing music and be pulling, as he's pulling one drape and pulling the other side like that. He's measuring, is this thing accurate? Is it don't do anything design with JJ, it will stress you because if 1 inch is not equal on the other side, you must una go lose her and start again. So, anyways, back to the story. My mom, my little brother, Isaac was just there being a last born. Then myself and JJ were the ones that did the most of the work. My mom was cleaning and all. So we didn't finish till like 10 p.m. ish. And my dad had gotten back from his journey around 6 ish. And around that 6, we had told him, oh, we'll be home soon. So he just went home directly instead of coming to church to meet us. And around 7, he called. He was like, una still never finish. Say we never finish, oh, we still do. And then the next question he asked my mom was, what should I make for dinner for you guys? That's me, my big brother, myself, my little brother, and my mom. the entire family. And he was like, "Oh, what should I make for dinner for you guys?" And I'm like, "Just make rice and stew because there's um no need to now start doing." Me, I did not even feel like eating solid. It was obvious we were going to get home late. So by the time we got home, dinner was served. Dinner was ready. My dad had made stew. He had made rice and beans. Served. I think he added beans, extra cherry on top. And he was like, "Guys, welcome. Oh, na sorry, oh, do take your bath and all of that." And dinner was served. As simple as that thing is. And now that's another thing with this generation. Someone will come and say, "Oh, that's the bare minimum. Is it not supposed to nye, nye, nye? Mona?" Oh my god. This is where if you see good thing, just accept that it is good. You don't have to make it that, oh, there's one standard somewhere, unrealistic standard that we've created in our minds. He also traveled. He had a rough day too. He had a busy day, but he decided to do that when ideally it's supposed to be either I or my mom that will make the dinner, even though we've had a busy day. So I remember getting home that day. I'm like, "Oh, daddy, you're just so sweet." Like it stuck with me. Another thing my dad did. This one, my dad used to cook for us, so it's not like it's big thingy. But these two incidents stuck with me. February 14th, I can't remember the year, maybe 2018 or 2019. So it's not as if it's long ago, far, far story. I'm saying I was in uni or post. Oh no, I had graduated at that time. I had graduated maybe a year. Yeah, and February 14th, I was at home and Valentine's Day, right? So my dad, I and my mom usually have a lot of late nights. Like sometimes we just sit up and gist and forget that time has gone. So we are going to bed around 3 a.m. and we're not able to wake up for devotion. So she'll just cuddle up in my bed instead of going to her my room with my dad, and she'll just cuddle up with me and sleep in my room. What am I now missing as I'm saying this thing? Okay. She'll just cuddle up in my room and then we sleep. Sometimes we sleep till like maybe 9 a.m. ish because we slept pretty late. And I remember that day was Valentine's Day, February 14th. So around that kind 8 a.m., 9 a.m. ish, my dad just knocks on the door. "Hey, my babies, are you people awake?" I was hearing people laughing by 3 a.m. We're done. And he had a tray in his hand. And he just came in like, "Happy Valentine's to my two babies." And then there was breakfast, pap, I think moi moi or something, like full package breakfast too. Then me, I prefer to eat my moi moi with bread. I don't like pap like that. And he served us breakfast in bed. Not the typical butter breakfast in bed you get. Just pap, moi moi, bread, tea, and I think what I can't remember, but I know it was moi moi and pap. Then for me, bread and something. And he brought breakfast to bed for my mom and I. It stuck with me, and I'm like, "This is just beautiful." And I saw the way my mom was just blushing. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, baby." And I'm like, "How old is this woman? I am blushing at this age." If you've seen older people that are in good marriages, have you seen the way they look so young and they are just, you discover your mother is also still a baby girl. Like you smart, you should just be blushing and be looking me. Oh my god, marriage is beautiful. That's all I'm trying to paint for you. And I had other things to say for this episode, but I'm focusing on marriage and I don't even know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's for somebody. I'm focusing on marriage and relationship for today. So all this my story that I'm sharing now, excuse me, it's those things we see online and you say, "Oh, this one is fake. All this breakfast is bad, it's not realistic. All this main man they cook." Yeah, then some people say, "Oh, it's bare minimum." It's, all this plenty talk. All I'm trying to do to you and your mind is to make you see that beautiful marriage, beautiful relationship is a possibility, even in this generation. I've met people from our, millennials that have been married 5, 6, 7 years, and the marriage is working and they are not forcing it. Do you get? Because some of you come now and say, "Oh, that's our parents' time." Now there's no good wife anywhere. That's another lie that the devil have portrayed. No husband material anywhere. All the men that are going around now senseless. All the girls that are going around now, all they are looking for is money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Plenty talk. Talk, 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 talk. First thing I think you should do is wash off your FYP, like your social media page, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever social media you find yourself scrolling on. Make sure you filter out the negativity. Don't allow it settle. It worked for me because you will not know that those things you're absorbing it until time comes now for you to make decisions in your life, and you discover you're thinking about, oh, what if he does this? What if he starts hitting me? What if you are looking at things in your own life from the view of other people's experiences? And that's no way to live life. And even if it's not other people's experiences, if it is your own experience of bad relationship, it doesn't matter. You can just choose to be more intentional about your life, about relationship. And one thing I will always say, if you do relationship with God, bah, it gives you an edge. This is not to say, oh, this God said, and God said he's my husband, God said he's my wife. This is not to say it is a surety that the relationship will work, because there's the human factor, but God will still leave it to your free will. I've seen a case where God kept telling somebody, change. This thing you are doing is wrong. He did refuse to change. And God told the lady, break up with him. Because this thing you are complaining about, I've spoken to him about it and he has refused to change. So there's that. But most of the time, when there are two people that are vulnerable with God and have decided, oh, we're going to make this relationship work. God has ordained it. We are going to also put in the work on our own side, because you will definitely put in the work. It will work out. That's the truth. It will work out. So don't let the devil tell you that you can never marry right. So it's better you just stay single. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Being married to the right person, it pushes you in ways you didn't even know you could be pushed. Like, oh, and it sometimes your partner says something, paints an idea to you, and you're like, oh, actually, I've never seen it from this perspective before. And then that thing you've been trying to do for so long, finally you have clarity to do it. And don't even get me started on coming back home from a stressful day to somebody cooking a nice meal for you, and both of you cuddled up on your couch and watching a show together. It sounds simple and minute, but it's such a beautiful thing. I feel like I keep going in circles, but maybe someone has to hear it this many times to believe it. Marriage is a beautiful thing and it's possible for you. It's possible for you. All men don't cheat. All men are not abusive. Not all men are domineering and oppressive. Not all women are gold diggers. Not all women are after you just because of what they can get from you. God still has good men and God still has good girls, good women, good ladies. So don't let the devil and the society paint that picture to you that every girl is a gold digger. Every girl is after you for what she can get from you. Every man will take your dream. Oh God, I saw one comment one day. Someone said blatantly, like, men are drainers. They will drain you. They will drain your energy. They will suck your power. They will, they will suck your beauty. I said, now, wow, that does not have to be your testimony. It's somebody else's, doesn't have to be yours. And even if you've experienced it in the past, there's space for newness. Let that pain go. Let go of that lens. Throw away that lens so that you can see the original picture God has designed for marriage and for relationship. I think I'm going to continue next week. And next week is going to be more fast paced. Yeah. For this week, I honestly just feel this is what God wants me to talk about: marriage or relationship. And yeah, I'm just going to end it here. Ah, all right. I'll see you guys next week on the next episode of The Theory of Pain. Bye.